Welcome everyone to the Red Lounge. I am your host Rick Redmond, and we are back with some NBA 2K17 MyGM series for the Portland Trail Blazers. Now, haven't done these video in the series in a while, but last time we left off, we came off of a big road win against the Boston Celtics. Blew them out wire to wire, 74-56. And you take a look at the standings update. We are a half game above the Golden State Warriors for the top of the Western Conference, so hopefully we stay up there for at least until the playoffs start. And the big acquisition from last video, Hassan Whiteside made a nice debut, 13 points, 12 rebounds, a double-double for his first game rather as a Trailblazer. So nice way to start it off. Now we're going to do a little bit of simulating, but I did want to figure out if we can maybe possibly fit in one more trade. So I'm looking at some trade offers getting in, and the first one was from the Spurs. They're going to give us Parker and Lee for McCollum, and I wasn't feeling that one. We did get one from the Celtics, which kind of piqued my interest. We would get Jerebko, and we would have to give up Ed Davis, and we would swap draft picks, but in the end, I wasn't really feeling it too well. So after a couple simulations through the next 2 weeks, we did get a few wins and a couple losses. But I wanted to make my own trade offer of my own. I felt like we needed one more trade before the deadline, and here is what I came up with. So take a look at this. We would be giving away Mason Plumlee, Jake Layman, and a 2019 first round pick that's top 10 protected. And we would get in return from the Lakers Larry Nance and Anthony Brown. Larry Nance would help solidify our power forward position. We're going to go ahead and make this trade, and it is official. The Lakers have agreed to the trade offer. Now, if some of you are wondering why would I include that first round pick, it was the only way they could have really agreed to these terms, especially giving a young prospect like Larry Nance. And I think a 2019 pick we would really need it per se. And plus, Mason Plumlee has an expiring contract, so he was going to be a free agent next year. We were not going to re-sign him. So I thought this deal worked out for the best. As you take a look at the new rotation, update rotation now, Lillard, McCollum in the backcourt as always. Aminu at small forward after transitioning from power forward to small forward. Larry Nance, our new starting power forward, as he will get the start in today's first game as a Trailblazer. And then, of course, Hassan Whiteside, the man in the middle at center. So I like this top starting five right here. I think this is a good lineup for not even just the present, but for the future down the road, because these are all very young guys. As we get a question through the press about the Mason Plumlee trade, and I felt like it was a great trade because we had to get rid of him anyways. He was disgruntled. He didn't like his minutes. He didn't like coming off the bench behind Whiteside. So I thought it worked out best for both parties, really, as the players seem happy, but the opinion probably not so much. Now we're going to do a little bit more simulating and see any more trade offers come in before the deadline. As you see, we get one from the Jazz. Now see, this would have kind of been nice before the Whiteside trade, getting Gobert, but now it's a little too late. Plus we would have to surrender a first round pick for that, and that wasn't happening. We get one from the T-Wolves. This one wasn't too bad, but once again, we're giving away McCollum, and we don't need Chris Dunn. That's a point guard. Why would we need a point guard when we already have Lillard? So that didn't really make too much sense, unless Chris Dunn plays shooting guard, but I don't know how his position is. So a couple more simulations in. We took only a couple wins and quite a few losses, actually. We did get this one last trade offer, though, before we start today's game, and this was from the Boston Celtics. Now, a lot of people keep inquiring about McCollum and his trade prospects. This one was probably one of the best, though, for sure. We would get Avery Bradley and Jay Crowder, and we would give up McCollum and Myers Leonard. Now, Leonard is expendable. That's totally fine. We would get a solid two guard, a defensive guard nonetheless, and he actually plays pretty well in the offense. So that could kind of help out with the backcourt, and we get a nice solid wing in Jay Crowder. I'm going to hold that trade off for now. I'm not going to accept that, but if you guys think that's a decent trade, I might consider that. However, I don't usually like to break up that two-way backcourt of McCollum and Lillard. I still love that backcourt, but the prospect of having Avery Bradley there might help. So let me know in the comments down below if you think we should do that trade. However, though, we're going to get into today's action. We're going to be on the road against the Utah Jazz. as we're going to be in the red unis and the Jazz in their blue Pride jerseys with the sleeves. And look at this, starting off the bat, first play of the game, we're going to head off to our newest acquisition, Larry Nance, who gets a nice post fadeaway first, 4 points as a Blazer. Now, Lillard working the pick and roll with Hassan Whiteside, the other somewhat recently new Blazer, getting in that alley-oop lay-in to go. Now, up 8-5 in the first quarter. Larry Nance trying to do a little bit too much to show off his new teammates that he gets a turnover dribbling behind his back, and that costs us a turnover with points off a turnover with Gordon Hayward getting that layup to go and the foul. So game's tied 10-10. Lillard pump faking Hill, and then he's going to drive through the baseline up and under with the foul, and layup to go and one. Great play from Lillard as we take another look. Going to go up and under, gets the contact and the fouls. He also gets us the lead. Now up 13-12. Larry Nance once again posting up. He's got the smaller man, Dante Exum. He's just gonna spin around him and dunk it in. That's what we need in the 4 spot. We need post play right there, and that was a perfect example. So that's what Larry Nance hopefully will bring us to the table as we go up by 3 now. Jazz with the miss. Lillard just gonna dribble up the court. Really, you're not gonna meet him at the 3-point line, really? As Lillard knocks down the 3 ball. Up 21-14. Blazers starting to get on a little mini run. Lillard to Nance. Nance finding Ed Davis for the one-handed jam. Nice interior passing as Nance finds the open Davis. Now back and forth playing hot potato here. McCollum finally tries to pull the trigger, and he does with the 3 ball as we go up by 13 now, midway through the second quarter. Now up by 12. McCollum's going to find Hassan Whiteside, who's running the floor, beats Gobert. Gobert running a little bit slow, too late on that chase down block as he gets that dunk to go in. Now McCollum does lose the ball here. Look at this block by Larry Nance. Exum tries to go for a mid-range shot, but Larry Nance wasn't having it, so Nance bringing it both on the offense and defensive ends of the floor. Now Joe Johnson goes off the screen, knocks down the 3 ball, cuts the lead to 10. But with that 15 seconds to play, Lillard, he's going to knock down a long 2 ball to go into the half, up by 12. Now Lillard starting off the second half. Lillard's going to find Larry Nance off the alley-oop. Pass was pretty off though, but Larry Nance with those long arms was able to somehow get that ball guided into the basket. So great play from Larry Nance once again. Now Lillard drawing 3 defenders, finds a wide open Al-Farouq Aminu for the 3 ball, and we go up by 13. Now with less than 4 minutes to play. Now up 15. McCollum misses, but look who's there to pick up the scraps. Hassan Whiteside flexing the Utah Jazz home crowd. As we go up by 20, our biggest lead of the game. Boris Diaw does come in and hit at 3 to cut the lead to 18. The missed layup right here. Jazz going on the break. He's going to find Boris Diaw once again to cut the lead to 15 before the end of the third. So here we go to start the 4th quarter now. Up by 15. Hayward with the miss. Gobert tries to put it back, but Hassan Whiteside with the block from behind. Crab running the break. He's going to find Lillard cutting inside for the lay-in to go. So that halts that Jazz momentum for now. Up by 17. Jazz missed that shot, but Gobert this time puts it back in for them. Up by 15 though. Jazz trying to cut this lead, and oh, it's a foul, and it's on Lillard. That's his 5th foul of the game, so he's got to be very careful now in the last 5 minutes of the game. Now Gordon Hayward knocks down the 3, cuts the lead to 13. Now only up by 11 now. Here comes George Hill driving by McCollum. Lead's cut down to single digits now with about 3.5 to play. Now Blazers up by 11. Oh, Alec Burks with the 3. So now the lead's cut to 8. Lillard's going to find McCollum open for 3. No good. Jazz on the break now. Here we go. Gordon Hayward. We're going to find Derek Favors for the jam. It's a 6-point game with a little over 2 minutes to play, and we're going to need a timeout. The Jazz making their run. Could they make the improbable comeback here at home? Lillard going to pop a 3. No good. Now Jazz on the break. Here comes Hayward. He's going to find a wide open Rudy Gobert as the Blazers defense falls asleep and the lead is cut down to 4. Now 5 seconds on the shot clock. Lillard loses the ball. He's going to try to find McCollum. McCollum chucks up a 3. No good. But Hassan Whiteside with the key offensive rebound. Jazz with the foul. So Blazers would inbound the ball on the next possession. And Lillard, he's got 3 Jazz defenders surrounding him. So that leaves Hassan Whiteside wide open for the jam. Where was this? What was this defense that the Jazz were playing? Nobody had him guarding him, so he just took the dunk. So now with 22 seconds to play, down by 6, Jazz probably need like 2 3-pointers. There's the first one as Hayward knocks it down. So Lee cut down to 3. All we gotta do is just inbound the ball to Lillard. Oh no, Whiteside inbounds it, but Rudy Gobert with the steal. But oh, Gobert misses the lay-in. Gobert misses the easy lay-in, and that could cost them. That could have at least cut the game to 1. So Whiteside, to amend his mistakes, gets fouled, go to the free throw line, knocks down the first one. Can he knock down the second one? He does. That is clutch from your center, knocking down 2 free throws like that. So we go up by 5 with 14 seconds to play. Hill's going to find Gordon Hayward. Hayward fading away over Aminu again, knocks down a crazy 3. Are you serious? This time we're going to play it smart and call timeout because we don't want Whiteside trying to inbound this ball from that end of the floor. Aminu does inbound to Lillard, so Lillard gets fouled with 9 seconds to play. He's going to go to the line, and he's going to knock down the first free throw. So Lillard, you know he's clutch when it comes down to these late game situations, but oh, he misses the second free throw. Who knew Whiteside was more clutch than Lillard at the free throw line? Wow, so now the Jazz have a chance to tie the game. Inbounding the ball, you know they're going to try to give it to Gordon Hayward. He's been knocking down all those 3 balls, but no, instead, George Hill decides to take the 3 right off the inbound, a contested 3. Maybe not the best shot selection, and that could cost them as we get the rebound and the foul. Larry Nance did miss the first free throw, but he was able to knock down the second, so we would go up by 4. No timeouts for the Jazz. George Hill's going to take a half-court shot, no good, and we escape. Somehow escape Utah with a win on the road, 70-66. We were up by 20, and this game still went down to the wire. So luckily we were able to secure that lead, but there's definitely a lesson learned that we're going to have to overcome.
Thanks, Kevin. Congrats, Damian, on the win. What does this game say about your team?
I think, first of all, it says that, we got to learn how to keep a lead. We can't let teams put us in that position at the end of a game when we play so well. But I think it showed our composure, our ability to win the game down the stretch when the team had us on our heels in the closing minutes of a game, and we found a way to pull it out.
Yeah, you guys hung in there, and you got it done at the end. Congrats again, Damian. Back to you, Kevin.
Couldn't have said it any better myself, Dame. That's how a team leader and a potential MVP candidate should talk. But take a look at the box score right here. Hassan Whiteside led us with another big double-double, 19 and 7. Lillard with 16 points and 8 assists. McCollum quite a bit cold though, 4 of 16 from the field, 1 for 8. Maybe he's a little bit distracted from the trade talks. I don't know. So that could probably be affecting his performance. And we look at the Utah Jazz side. Gordon Hayward leading the way with 21 points, knocking down some contested three-pointers at the end. George Hill with 13 was the only other Jazz in double figures. They had a run, but I guess it was more of like a too little too late scenario as they just couldn't make enough efforts to come back. So that's going to be it for today's episode. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you guys think we should do that trade with Avery Bradley, or if you have any other trade suggestions or you like the trades, let me know in the comments down below. Until next time, this is Rick Redmond signing out.